Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I thought I'd take the opportunity today. It's a little bit of spare time on a Sunday afternoon, and I was expecting heavy rain by now, but it hasn't rained yet, so I thought I'd have a little move around of plants so that I could do a more in-depth video on my best or healthiest looking white sapote. Just protect it from the wind at the moment. All my branches snapping off in it since I've moved it away from its sheltered location it was in. Now I've had this amongst my other tropicals in a slightly sheltered location. This is a grafted plant. I'll look at the label and check which one it is, and this one, sorry about that noise, definitely has got a grafted section on it. This is called McDill, this one, and the grafted section is actually here. Now, if we have a look at the plant, it was very slow to get going early this summer, but suddenly it's put out new shoots at the top of the stem that grew last year. You can see I showed them I think 2 or 3 weeks ago when they were about an inch long, these shoots, and they've now grown to about 5 or 6 inches on the new growth. So this is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. I'm planning to let it grow to about 6 feet tall and then pinch the tops out and see if I can encourage it to bush out. But it has been doing some bushing out. It's a little bit unpredictable in its growth. It's a bit like a citrus. You'll get a mad spurt of growth like this and have stems do really well, and then suddenly got some side shoots coming out there. Suddenly, for no apparent reason, it gets tip dye back on it like here, and then that doesn't get replaced. Now it's got this nice side shoot coming out here, which I'm pleased with, which at some stage has taken some damage underneath. I'm going to guess from the kink in it that a snail took a liking to it, because I've had a lot of problems with these being eaten by slugs and snails. This side shoot here is doing nicely and looks undamaged. This shoot here, if I show it, has grown completely, and we'll look at the fruits in a minute. This shoot here has grown from there to there in about 4 weeks. So I'm quite pleased with that, because it gives it a nice sort of V shape, almost like a wine glass shape, which suits me fine. Now it's still holding some fruits on it that it's had incredibly since, I think this fruit here was from flowers around December time, and we're now at the end of July when I'm filming this. You can see how slow the growth unfortunately is on these. This is literally got to only about an inch and a half across in 6 months, and I think that's partly because it's on a not very healthy branch, partly because it's a young immature tree, and obviously had it been on one of the shoots that was growing more convincingly, perhaps the fruit would have done a little bit better. The plant's taken damage on this shoot here, which is snail or slug damage, where they've scoured off the bark a bit like they do on my citrus, but thankfully it's only been one section on the outside, so the rest of the plant seems unaffected and is growing. These fruits probably set in January, and they're less than an inch, and these are about the size of large cherries, and to be honest they don't seem to have grown in the last sort of 6 weeks. So I'm not convinced they're going to get any bigger or anywhere near maturing or ripening or being an edible size. I'm still finding the odd scale insect on it, which I just peel off because there's only the odd 1 or 2. I mean, these are prone to getting scale insects on them. Most of the leaves look to be okay now, but I'm kind of disappointed that this fruit has not grown anymore. But as it's still on the plant, maybe it will carry on growing. I suspect in our climate these are going to take a year, rather like some of the citrus. I think these might take a year from flowering to an edible sized fruit. Now it's clearly not going to get to the sort of 4 inches plus that I've seen these white sapotes make in warm temperate climates, but I think if it stays on long enough, it could grow to between 2 and 3 inches, and it could theoretically ripen. We don't know yet, because I haven't come across anybody who's that I've seen a video where they've got their white sapotes to grow and ripen in the UK. So I'm sure there are people that have done it, and I'm sure if it was in a greenhouse it wouldn't be a problem at all. But obviously I put it inside in my kitchen in winter and then just leave it outside from sort of April through to about November, so not ideal conditions for what's effectively a subtropical, but they do grow nicely in a warm temperate climate, and we're a cool temperate climate. They're not a true tropical, so they are hardier than quite a lot of other of the tropicals, and they are related to the lemon family. Seems to me like everybody's doing building today on a Sunday, typically enough. So I'm very pleased with this shoot. This is fabulous, and all of the growth on it is definitely from the grafted section, unlike my other white sapote where I think the grafted section died and the shoots are all coming from the rootstock, which is fine, because even a seed growing one will produce fruits. The quality may or may not be very good, remains to be seen. But if I can get this up another sort of 18 inches in height this summer, and then pinch the tips out, hopefully some of these lower branches will shoot out sideways and we'll get a nice bushy form of plants, and perhaps it will be strong enough to produce some more edible fruits if it survives another winter. Oh, dreadful noise it's making. So that's my white sapote. It's a grafted plant variety as McDill. Thank you for watching the video. Please give me a thumbs up. Welcome to share it if you think anybody would be interested in what's happening with this in the UK growing conditions. Please subscribe to my channel if this sort of plant interests you, and remember to click on the bell if you like to know when new videos come out, which will of course at some stage include an update on my white sapote. Thank you for watching, much appreciate it. Please keep an eye out for me, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Brett out for now.